guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are back at this sports arena complex in the middle of Florida because it is round 2 with our 2021 Toyota Corolla Apex Edition. I have my Puma Apex Edition shoes strapped on once again because we are now going to give you the driving impressions. But I don't want to just give you driving impressions. If this is your first time seeing the Toyota Corolla Apex here on Rady's Rides, I also want to go over what makes the car so special, but we're going to do it a little quicker, focus more on actual seat time. But before we dive in, let's talk about what's going on here. So Toyota is bringing some extra performance. Normally when you see any Toyota product, you look for those letters, TRD, Toyota Racing Development. This Apex doesn't have those letters, but boy, oh boy, are you getting some extra fine-tuned performance, plus a style that's gonna make you stand out from the rest of the crowd. Now there's just 6,000 of these Corolla Apexes being built for 2021. If you want a manual like we have a 6-speed slick shifting manual transmission. It's only one of 120. But before they're sold and gone, let's go ahead, dive in, get this started, and we're gonna give you the driving impressions and find out, is this a fun driving, really true performance compact sedan? Right off the bat, the styling. Like I was telling you, this is unique to the Apex. Now, starting up at the front end of the business, you're gonna get the same headlight housing. We've already talked about that, LED, everything on the interior, but this is all special, all new for the Apex. You could actually see just how it gives the appearance of a flared out fender with this wonderful hard edge body line. I love the bronze treatment. You do have a faux vent on each corner, and I am gonna zonk that, but it does look really, really slick. The lower fog lamps, the way that everything extends. I mean, look at the different elements of design here, how it extends. And my favorite part is this functional splitter that goes across the whole bottom, but also kind of peeks over on the side and allows that airflow to go down the side of the vehicle. This has been tested in a wind tunnel. Now, as we come across the rest of the front end, unique to the Apex, of course, you're gonna get that large open mouth grille. You can see the bronze treatment brought all the way across the center. Multi-level, multi-dimension, more downforce than your standard Corolla setup. Even the way that they have this stepped area here right below our blacked out Toyota badging really gives it a super aggressive, almost sinister look, which is kind of crazy to use that word on a Corolla, but boy oh boy, this Apex is doing the business. Now when we get up onto the hood, body lines are simple, body lines are clean. As you can see, it kind of curves off. Right there is going to be your apex of this turn as it goes towards your A-pillar. It all blends together. We come around the bend. What are we working with? We're working with these cast aluminum freeform wheels. They're actually lighter than your stock wheels, but they're not as light as forged aluminum. This is unique to the Corolla Apex 18-inch wheel. Love the design. The car, like I said before, it's actually an inch lower, almost an inch lower, sitting on lowering springs. They beefed up the suspension bits, gave us some thicker anti-roll bars, both front and rear. They stiffened up the whole chassis, and you're gonna get retuned suspension all 4 corners. Doesn't this sound like a TRD, almost like a Corolla TRD, but really nicely done. You're running these Dunlop tires, 40 series sidewall, really summer rated performance tires to give you that grip. And yes, this is front wheel drive, and we have the 6-speed manual transmission. Now when we go down the side, color match on the mirror caps, massive side sill. And that's the great thing. It's not just about sticking a splitter up front. You have these beautiful side sill extensions with the bronze treatment. You can see the aerodynamic tweaking that they do at the back of the passenger door panel here. And as we get towards the rear, same exact wheel and tire setup, all 4 corners, looking really good. Those Dunlop Sport Max tires really going to allow us to get some grip, but also get some durability out of the tires. When we get to the trunk, you got a tasteful but aggressive trunk lid spoiler, functional piece. Love the way the end caps, everything is built in, flows nicely, extends off the back of the trunk. Blacked out badges, just like up front with our Apex badge. As we drop down, the only other area outside I'm zonking is this fake vent design. I mean, it looks cool. It's just, I wish they would have came out with just a nice smooth look to it, or a different texture. You do have a beautiful rear diffuser and a catback exhaust. Remember how I was telling you TRD? Catback exhaust. Love the flared out tip. Going to give us a little bit more sound out of that inline 4. But since we're talking about the inline four, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Corolla Apex. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, but the good news is it's all the way over the passenger side. Underneath the hood, no plastic cover or any of that junk. What you're looking at is that naturally aspirated 2-liter engine. That's an inline four, 2-liter engine, 169 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. So that would be a zonk because there's not extra horsepower, but that's not what the Apex is all about. Apex, think about it. That's the sweet spot of a corner. That's what race car drivers chase after every single lap, every single turn. You're going to be able to hit the Apexes so much smoother in this Corolla Apex. Wait until you see with the driving impressions. But ours is mated to a 6-speed manual. You can get a CVT transmission. That's a simulated 10-gear transmission, even though there's no gears in the CVT box. The car weighs around 3,000 pounds with the 6-speed manual. MPGs is where you're going to be the big winner. 31 in the city, 40 in the highway, 0 to 60 in about 6.8 seconds if you know how to dance on your twinkle toes. Quarter mile goes by at 16 flat, and it does have a top speed that's regulated to 112 miles an hour. Looking underneath that engine bay, you can see how everything is clearly on display. And I think that's another thing, is that this car being more of an enthusiast, car enthusiast Corolla, it's nice to see all the inner bits underneath the hood. But why don't we fire it up and hear what that catback exhaust sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Toyota Corolla Apex for a second time. If you've already seen the first review, you know that the cat's already out of the bag on pricing, but if you're new, let's break it down. So this one, because we have a manual, we have that slick shifting 6-speed manual, it's on the SE trim platform. That's gonna give us an MSRP of $26,000, almost break even. If you want the CVT automatic, then that's going to be on an XSE trim platform, which is going to bring the price up to $29,000. But let's see what you get for your hard-earned $26,000. We're going to keep this brief. To the door panels, Toyota does a great job breaking up the dark interior colors with this off-white. Looks good, soft material everywhere. As we go from the door panel to the dash, it really is clean. That same material, when the doors are closed, it flows nicely. Nice low dash. You have your 7-inch infotainment system screen, Apple CarPlay. It is a touchscreen. We do have Sirius XM. Let me throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. No trajectory, which is a zonk, but the good news is it takes up all the screen. Now, as we work our way down, you have your AC vents, easy to work AC controls. The biggest news that I think is what we have here. 6-speed manual transmission. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Michelle over at Toyota. I requested it, and they delivered. I knew you guys would want to see the 6-speed, but the throws are nice and very, very purposeful on each gate. So every time you go into a gate, you feel exactly each gear. The throws are a little on the long side, but you know what? They're super, super smooth, and it centers really nicely. You can see how they brought the bronze, not only on the shift boot, but also on the armrest. As we work our way back, you can see on the armrest here, the bronze stitch work. It's a great height. You got places to put Twinkies. You could put your Twinkies, your track day Twinkies, your autocross Twinkies in there. You get a USB and a 12 volt, so they got you covered. And then the seats, they are cloth because it's the SE trim, but they do a great job of holding you in and being comfortable all at the same time. The other good news about this car is that if you're new to driving a manual transmission, the clutch is just the right weight, not too light, not too heavy, and you can literally slowly release the clutch without even adding throttle, and the car will not stall. So it's a perfect car to learn how to drive manual transmission, or if you're seasoned in manual shifting, then this would really just accentuate your skills. One last thing I forgot to point out is that you do have this IMT button. What that means is intelligent manual transmission. You make sure that this is on every time you start the car, because what the transmission will do when you downshift, like from second to first, it will automatically rev match the shift so that you don't have to heel toe downshift. Or if you want to leave it off, hey, if you know how to dance like I do, dance all day long and blip your own throttle. But great thickness on the steering wheel. I got plenty of room in here, just like before, but we're gonna cut out the back seat. We're even gonna cut out the business side, because you can see the business side from where you're sitting. Let's go ahead and do the driving, hear the driving impressions, and really experience what this Corolla Apex is all about. Let's go hit some apexes and tear up some corners.
All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Toyota Corolla Apex. I can't wait to showcase just how capable this little performance compact sedan really is. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle. Chirping tire's a happy tire. Pulls all the way nice, the red line. Look at this. Look at this. Nice flat all the way through. Did not lift. Very nice. I'm telling you, the front end stays planted. She doesn't want to wash out and understeer on you. Really, really predictable, confidence inspiring, and this is why I say that I love driving these lower horsepower sporty cars, because you get to use all of the power and just feel so connected and so direct, and hitting your apexes, hitting those marks, which will make you a better driver. Because the thing is with a low horsepower car, you make a mistake, it's almost impossible to make it up on a racetrack. This is where you're gonna fine tune your skills and be a better driver. All right, guys, here we go. Let me drop it down to first. On throttle. Loving chirping those tires. You just carry the speed through the corner, and she stays planted. Nice. Flat, I was flat on throttle through that. Very little body roll. You could really feel what the front end of the car is doing. Great weight to the steering. They got the steering feel right on point. Would it be nice to have a little bit more power? Of course, I'm not gonna lie. But that's the great news is that they are coming out with that GR Corolla, which will give us more power. But from a performance standpoint, this is bringing you more performance, because it's gonna allow you to be quicker through the twisty bits than you've ever been on any Corolla before this. The manual really shifts nicely. The clutch has a great pickup point. It's like they took the Corolla just standard SE with a 6-speed and really poured it on big time in the areas where it was lacking, especially through the twisty bits. And I feel the changes. I really, really do. I wish I could actually have you in the car with me sitting here. I know this is the next best thing, but you would really be able to feel the grip that this Apex is generating. All right, guys, more fun in the Corolla Apex. Here we go, on throttle. This car is a ton of fun, it really is. Nice. Really, really handles so perfect, especially watch this with this left-right transition. Look at this. Carry the speed. It's all about momentum in these cars, and I'm telling you, from corner to corner, you're reaping the benefits of the changes that they made to the thicker anti-roll bars, the suspension, the lowering of center of gravity, the whole 9 yards. It's a turnkey, ready to go. You don't even need to buy different wheels or any bodywork for this thing. All right, guys, let's have some more fun on throttle. feeling good. Little dab of the brakes, carry the momentum. I like how smooth the shifter goes from gear to gear. Clutch feels great. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So communicative, like cars, you want them to talk to you. I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship where the other person just doesn't talk and you don't know what the heck is going on. It's the same story when it comes to cars. You want them to communicate to you, let them know what you're doing, let them know what they're doing, and with this Corolla Apex, it just comes together. It's like the perfect dance partner, and she feels good. I'm loving it. Here we go, on throttle. Feeling good, here we go. Flat through, right here, flat. My foot's flat on the floor. Telling you, man, you feel so connected. Really, really nice. Really, really well done. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, yes, it does not have more horsepower than a Corolla, but if you don't think I'm going faster than a regular Corolla, you're out of your mind. You're out of your freaking mind. That's where the skill, you got to bring the skill, you find the right road, and this is where it shines. And it's a ton of fun. Ton of fun. But we're going to wrap this one up, get back to our special location, and I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a time with this Toyota Corolla Apex. I definitely got to thank Zach, Corey, and Michelle once again over at Toyota USA, and everybody there for allowing us first dibs on this 6-speed manual. It really shows that Toyota does their homework when it comes to handling, and when it comes to overall stability, really allows you to feel confident behind the wheel to hit those different apexes from corner to corner. The styling, I really think they hit the nail on the head, because there's a lot of people who buy a Corolla and they wind up buying pieces that look close to what's on this vehicle. Why not just have it directly from the factory? But boy, oh boy, if this is what is to come with that GR Corolla that's coming out soon, I really can't wait. But in the meantime, getting behind one of these, you definitely want to add it to your list, because it does have such a nice handling capability to it that it's really going to just separate it from the rest of the Corolla pack. But if it's cars like these performance compact cars that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it to Crown Vic. He's loving this car. He's actually wishing that he had his own pair of Puma Apex shoes. So I'm going to go out and get him a pair since he's such a hard worker. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.